Hello everyone, welcome to New Wealth Japan. I'm thrilled to have you here today. This channel is dedicated to helping travelers from around the world discover and experience the very best of Japan. From ancient temples and historic castles that have stood for centuries, to the vibrant world of anime, unique Japanese souvenirs, and incredible cuisine that will tantalize your taste buds, we cover it all. Japan is a country where tradition meets innovation, where you can enjoy a traditional tea ceremony in the morning and explore cutting-edge technology districts in the afternoon. It's this beautiful contrast that makes Japan so fascinating. We're passionate about sharing hidden gems, travel tips, and cultural insights that will make your Japanese adventure unforgettable. Whether you're planning your first trip or you're a seasoned Japan traveler, we've got something special for you. I'm truly grateful that so many people from all corners of the world share this passion for Japanese culture with us. Your enthusiasm and curiosity inspire every video we create. So sit back, relax, and let's explore Japan together. Let's get started.
Welcome to Izumo Taisha Grand Shrine. This shrine is mentioned in the Kojiki, Japan's oldest historical text, and is one of Japan's most ancient shrines. The enshrined deity is Okuninushi no Akami, revered throughout the nation as the god of matchmaking and relationships. In the land of Izumo, known since ancient times as the Land of the Gods, it is said that during Kamarizuki, the 10th month of the lunar calendar, all 8 million deities from across Japan gather here to hold conferences about human relationships. The main hall, standing approximately 24 meters tall in the Taisha Zukuri architectural style, is designated as a national treasure. In ancient times, it is believed to have been more than twice its current height at 48 meters, with a grandeur beyond imagination. The massive sacred rope at Kagura Hall, measuring 13.6 meters in length and weighing 5.2 tons, is truly awe-inspiring. The worship method is also unique, with the formal procedure being 2 bows, 4 claps, 1 bow. At this sacred site known as the deity of matchmaking and good fortune, please express gratitude for your connections and pray for new ones.
You know, when you think of Japan's origin story, your mind probably jumps straight to the sun goddess Amaterasu and the whole unbroken imperial line, right? It's a really powerful central narrative. But hidden away on what's called the backside of Japan, one of the country's most important shrines holds the key to a very, very different version of that story. It's a tale of rivalry, resistance, and a power that, well, never really surrendered. Okay, let's get into this. 48 meters, that's almost 160 feet. For centuries, there was this ancient Japanese text that claimed one building once stood this tall. I mean, a height that would have absolutely dwarfed every other structure in the country, even the famous Great Buddha Hall at Todaiji Temple. For a long, long time, historians just wrote it off as pure myth, a fantastical exaggeration. And that was the story until the year 2000. During an excavation at the Izumo Taisha shrine, archaeologists dug up something absolutely incredible: the remains of 3 massive wooden pillars, all bundled together, that perfectly matched the design from a centuries-old construction plan. The myth was real. The ancient main hall of Izumo was a truly colossal structure, literally built to rise above the clouds. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. It forces us to ask, why? Why would you build a shrine on such a monumental, almost defiant scale? The answer isn't just about cool architecture, it's about power. And it takes us right to the heart of a conflict that seriously challenges the very foundation of Japan's official history.
So, to really get what's going on with Izumo, we first have to look at the story we're usually told. This is the official version, the one written down in Japan's earliest and most important chronicles, by the winners, the Yamato court. At the heart of this official history is a myth called the Kuniyuzuri, which basically means the surrender of the land. In this version of events, the sun goddess Amaterasu, the ancestor of the imperial line, decides that the earthly realm, which at the time was ruled by a deity named Okuninushi, should belong to her kids. So she sends her messengers down from the heavens to demand he hand it over.
But here's the thing. Even the official story can't quite seem to get its facts straight. Japan's 2 oldest history books, the Kojiki and the Nihon Shoki, they tell different versions. You can see here the number of heavenly expeditions sent to take over Izumo changes from 3 to 5. And more importantly, the level of violence is all over the place. It ranges from a pretty peaceful handover with some bribes to an all-out, absolutely brutal conflict.
The most dramatic and kinda gruesome account comes from the Kojiki. In this telling, Okunushi's son, Take Minakata, totally refuses to back down. He challenges the heavenly god Takemi Kazuchi to a fight. It does not go well for him. Takumi Kazuchi basically crushes him, rips his arm clean off, and chases him down until the terrified Izumo god is literally begging for his life. I mean, talk about a humiliating and absolute defeat.
So you see, even with the different details, the main takeaway in the imperial narrative is always the same. Izumo's gods were beaten and they surrendered the entire earthly realm to the emperor's ancestors. End of story.
Or is it? What if the so-called vanquished side had its own records? What if they told a completely different story?
Okay, so let's flip the script. Let's look at how this other story builds, because it turns out Izumo did have its own records. And oh man, their version of events changes everything.
Way back in the year 733, a local report was put together called the Izumo no Kuni Fudoki. Now, most of these local histories from ancient Japan have been lost to time, but Izumo's, it survived almost perfectly intact, and it throws down a direct challenge to the imperial court's story.
And the difference is just stark. The imperial myths paint a picture of a forced surrender of all the lands, but the Izumo Fudoki, it describes it as a willing entrustment of governance over most lands, with a defiant and absolutely critical exception.
Just listen to the language here. In Izumo's own words, their great god Onamochi declares that, yeah, he'll entrust the rest of the lands, but Izumo itself is different. It's his personal domain, the place where his spirit lives, and he vows to defend it. This isn't the language of someone who lost. This is the language of a negotiated settlement between equals.
So how could they make such a bold claim? I mean, what gave Izumo the authority to say, nope, this part's ours? The answer isn't just in myth. It's in the very real power structure of ancient Japan.
See, the high priests of Izumo Shrine belong to the Izumo clan, a lineage just as ancient as the imperial family itself. And here's the really fascinating part. They trace their ancestry back to Amano Hohi, the second son of the sun goddess Amaterasu. The imperial line, of course, descends from the first son. This set up a parallel, kind of rival claim to divine authority right from the start.
To really get why this is such a big deal, we need to understand this concept called uji. In ancient Japan, ultimate legitimacy didn't really come from owning land. It came from inheriting the sacred right to perform rituals for your clan's ancestral god. And this right could only be passed down through a pure, unbroken father-to-son line.
So here's the crucial point. The imperial clan based its right to rule on their uji, their paternal line, all the way back to Amaterasu. But the Izumo clan's priestly line did the exact same thing, tracing their own uji back to Amaterasu's other son. This shared foundation of legitimacy meant the Yamato court couldn't just ignore them. Izumo had a spiritual authority that was parallel to, and in many ways, a genuine rival to their own.
And because of this deep-rooted spiritual power and its own independent story, Izumo came to represent an alternative center of authority in ancient Japan. It wasn't just some other region, it was seen as the other Japan, a realm with its own gods, its own history, and its own powerful claim to legitimacy.
So what happens when we put these two stories together side by side? Well, we get a much richer, more complicated, and honestly a much more interesting picture of how Japan actually came to be. Instead of a simple story of a violent takeover, Izumo's history points to what historians call pure polity interaction. It wasn't a straightforward case of a winner and a loser. It was more like a long, complex process of negotiation, compromise, and coexistence between two of the ancient world's heavyweights.
This idea of dualism is really at the heart of the story. You have the Yamato sphere over in the east, the sunny side, tied to the sun goddess and imperial power. And then you have the Izumo sphere over in the west, the mountain shadows, a land of clouds and mist, holding its own deep spiritual authority. It's like a balance of two fundamental forces.
And what's truly mind-blowing is how this lineage has survived. I mean, from the age of the gods, this line of priests has continued unbroken. The clan split in the 14th century, it survived huge political changes in the 19th, and then, get this, in 2014, in a wild, symbolic union of these two ancient lines, the eldest son of Izumo's chief priest married Princess Noriko, a member of the Japanese imperial family.
So yeah, the story is still very much alive. To this day, the descendants of Amaterasu's second son still serve at that great shrine, maintaining a spiritual tradition that is thousands of years old. They're weaving the story of the other Japan directly into the fabric of the modern nation.
This all leaves us with a pretty fascinating question, doesn't it? The story of Izumo shows that history is rarely as simple as the official version we're all taught.
It's a reminder that underneath the grand narrative of any nation, there are often other stories, other voices, and other truths. It really makes you wonder, what other histories are out there, hidden in plain sight, just waiting for us to look a little closer?
And that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed exploring this part of Japan with us. If you found this video helpful or entertaining, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps us reach more travelers like you who love Japan. And here's the most important part. If you haven't already, please subscribe to New Wealth Japan and hit that notification bell. By turning on notifications, you'll be the first to know whenever we upload a new video. We post new content regularly, featuring different destinations, food experiences, and cultural insights across Japan, so you won't want to miss out. Now, we'd love to hear from you. Do you have any questions about what we covered today? Is there a specific place in Japan you'd like us to feature in an upcoming video? Maybe a particular Japanese dish you're curious about, or a cultural tradition you want to learn more about? Please share your thoughts, questions, and suggestions in the comments below. We read every single comment and your feedback helps shape our future content. Also, if you've been to Japan before, we'd love to hear about your experiences. Share your favorite memories or travel tips with our community. Let's learn from each other. Thank you so much for watching and for being part of our New Wealth Japan family. Your support means the world to us. Until next time, safe travels, and see you in the next video. Sayonara.